I'm going to invite you all to follow along. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound, hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Hey, come on, turn your mic on.
Turn my mic on. It helps if I turn my mic on. Now that makes sense. Now you can hear me.
Turn it off.
If I must. No, okay. Well, good morning once again. Good morning. Welcome to another glorious day. What beautiful humans I see in front of me. And I know that we're connected with many beautiful humans out there in the virtual way as well through our online presence. So once again, we here at Unity of Tucson, this is a spiritual community. We are here to teach practical tools for a better life. That's the whole point and purpose of engaging in spiritual practice. It's to make life better. So one of the ways that I approach that is to say, I'm going to give a nice message. Well, I think it's a nice message. You get to decide whether you like it or not. I give a message and offer some tools at the end of that message and encourage you to really put them into practice in your life. Now, you may not believe everything you hear today. That's okay. But you may hear something that you do believe. And part of the practice is to look at what our beliefs are, because our beliefs are creating the expression of our lives. It is done unto you as you believe, a great teacher once said. And so that's what we are here to focus on and to learn. And you are here on purpose, whether you know it or not. Even if you are new to our community and somebody dragged you are here on purpose. You know why? Because there is a calling, an energetic, universal calling that drew you to this expression here today, and I'm so grateful that you've decided to be here with us. Now, we have a vision and mission here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for us as a community, and if you're online, whether you're sitting, well, I don't think anybody's sitting in Starbucks right now, but wherever you're sitting, wherever you are sitting, I invite you to speak these words out loud, the words of our vision statement. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. Now, the vision is how we see the world, and the mission are the steps we take to make that vision come to fruition. So let's speak the words of our mission statement here. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Now, there's a part of me that wants to speak on that for a moment. Loving only, it's a lovely, simple phrase. Sometimes it's easy, it's harder to do than just like saying, I'm just gonna love only, right? Yeah, and I just wanna acknowledge that loving only is recognizing that there is that within you that is pure love, untapped potential. And when we allow that to be the expression of our lives, then we cannot help but recognize it in the faces of everybody else. That's what I have come to understand as love only. It's not about, well, I mean, sometimes it's about romantic love, right? But it's about recognizing the inherent connection that we all share. Forgive everything, that can be tough too. That can be tough, but forgiveness is not about other people. It's about us. About knowing the truth of our being to such a degree that we live in a state of constant forgiveness for those things that we perceive, and it's all in perception, those things that we perceive need forgiveness within our heart. And remember who you are. I know one thing about you. You are the face of God, and we're going to celebrate that today. That's what I understand. So remember that. Remember that is who you are. If you're joining us for the first time today, if you're online joining us for the first time today, I do want to say a special welcome to you and say thank you so much for joining us here. There is a way that you can connect with us and let us know that you've decided to join us this morning. If you go to unitytucson.com/connect, just fill out the information that's there, and we would love to, be in communication with you. So delighted to have you join us. If you're here joining us in the room, in person for the first time today, if you are comfortable with identifying yourself by standing up, we would like to give you a gift and spread some love. So if you're here and would like to identify yourself by standing, grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. Ross is going to bring you a gift, and so Ross is going to bring you a physical gift, and if you remain standing for a moment, yes. And if you remain standing for a moment, I just want to let you know that this community has done its research. We know something about you.
Wonderful.
Yes, it is wonderful. Shall we let her know what it is we know about her? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. I'm so grateful that you've decided to spend your Sunday with us. You can be seated. Thank you. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, we know that about you because we see you as a reflection of that which is inherently part of each and every one of us. And I would love for us to exclaim what it is we know about ourselves. And you know what that is, right? I am magnificent. Let's say that one more time. I am magnificent. Doesn't that feel good? Yeah. To lead us in inspiration here today with a reading and leading us in affirmation and also providing a prayer, please welcome our prayer chaplain today, Sue Craik.
Thank you. Well, good morning. This reading was chosen by our prayer chaplain, Deborah Walker, so we're sending her light. She couldn't be with us today. The reading this morning comes from the book, The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and it speaks to the power of faith. And behold, a woman who suffered disease for 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment, thinking to herself, if I can just touch his garment, I'll be whole. Jesus, being aware of her presence, turned to her with the words, thy faith has made you whole. The spiritually minded are surrounded by the very presence of that which heals. And importantly, Jesus emphasized that it is done unto us as we believe. And the woman was made whole by her faith. Such is faith. And so with faith and grateful hearts, let's consider this month's affirmation. So first, I'll invite you to just comfortably sit. Let this flow over you. I'll share the affirmation one time, and then I'll invite you to join me. So the affirmation for this month is my thoughts, my beliefs, and my faith are global catalysts of peace and joy. How about we say that together once? My thoughts, my beliefs, and my faith are global catalysts of peace and joy. How about one more time? My thoughts, my beliefs, my faith are global catalysts of peace and joy. And so let's just take a moment in prayer. Father, Mother God, as a spiritual community, it's with deeply, deeply grateful hearts and minds that we celebrate our oneness as expressions of God, of good, of love, and acknowledge that divinity in each one of us and in each other. And through my faith, I affirm for each one of us today that there is only one power, one divine presence at the core of all there is. I embrace the peace of the Christ consciousness within that expresses as me and through me. I easily enter this peace, into this peace within, and allow it to move in magnificent ways. I am calm and I rejoice. I trust, believe, accept, and know that these words, released into the perfection of Source, return to me fully formed. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Namaste.
Thank you, Sue. May I trouble you to help me out this morning?
Sure.
It's different today. Everything is different today. Have you noticed? There is nothing more constant than change. Our keeper of the flames was not able to join us this morning. So I promise I'm not going to interview you because you were not prepared, unless you want to be interviewed. But if
I'll
you
let
would,
myself off the hook.
yes,
How's
you
that?
can let yourself off the hook. If you would be so kind as to light the candles this morning, I would
will.
really appreciate it.
Let me check the mechanism. Okay.
yes.
I can do this.
Lovely. So we do this, we engage in this ceremony each week called Lighting the Flames of Faith, with this understanding that it is, with each candle that we light, it is a representation of one of the faith traditions, the religious paths that exist in this world, and that we are affirming that each and every one of them is rooted in and flowing forth from love. And so we begin by lighting a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our own hearts. And this final candle we light is the healing candle. The healing candle represents the uncovering of the God essence at the core of all creation. And And when we allow that God essence to inform all the circumstances and the experiences of our lives, we experience healing in the physical world. And so this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The candle here on your left is our peace candle. And we keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with this understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we allow that inherent internal peace to inform our thoughts, inform our actions, inform our intentions, we create a more peaceful experience of this thing called life. And so let's honor this understanding, let's honor this candle by saying together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Thank you. And thank you, Sue, for stepping in today. You don't get to hear anybody's reflection on last week's homework. Do you really want to come up and talk about last week's homework? Come on up. This is Mary Alls. I will hand you a microphone because you're not mic'd up. And as you're making your way up here, I'm going to let people know what the homework was last week. The homework was to identify a blind spot in your life that is a blind spot of belief for you, and to seek out someone who can believe on your behalf and let them engage in the spiritual practice on your behalf. Why is this? Because sometimes we have trouble believing for ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
And there are people who are here to support you. I did say to make sure that you work with someone who is trained in the art of raising consciousness. So now, totally unprepared.
Totally
Tell me what
unprepared.
happens for you.
I have wonderful friends, and 3 of them are ordained ministers. And we went to lunch, and we talked on Monday about how it was sometimes for us not to really get that we are part of this wonderful God. And we have issues sometimes with, like, if I'm God, how can I make good things happen when I want them to? And sometimes we don't have any faith, and sometimes we think we're not part of that. But then things began to open up for me this week, and I was really astonished. Things went extremely well and smooth when I went like, well, if I'm part of this, maybe I just need to believe and let go. And when I did, things just smoothed out. In particularly, one thing was we're having a whole lot of problems with our garbage pickup. And you know me, I got to tell a story. And for almost 3 months, we take our garbage out on Friday morning at 6 o'clock, or rather, Bill does. I don't. I sleep in, but he does it.
I remember that from last week.
Yeah, he does. And then about 2 o'clock on Friday, we get a phone call, voicemail. We are not picking up your garbage today. We are sorry, but it will be tomorrow or maybe Monday. And we extremely are sorry for this. But we really don't care. Because if they cared, I think a manager would drive the truck and pick up our garbage, but I don't think they really care. So anyway, I decided not to let myself get all flustered and angry and upset about the garbage pickup. And they did pick it up on Saturday, and everything went well. So sometimes you just got to just let go, and as they say, let God in the universe take care of it.
Indeed, yes. And that always works as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much. Mary Alls. You know, maybe someday I should just do a free-for-all. Like, you want to get up and give the sermon today? Come on up. I heard someone, don't give me any ideas. Yeah. Today is a blessed day. Now, things were shifted a little bit in the service for a particular purpose. 4 times a year, we have a blessing of new members in our community, and that is what we are celebrating here today, new members in our community. What is membership? I want to talk a little bit about what membership is before we bring up the new members. Membership is a commitment, not just to the community. Membership is a commitment to your own spiritual path, your own decision to be on a particular path that works for you at this time in your life. By being a member here at Unity of Tucson, the commitment is to uphold the teachings of Unity and its principles and exemplify them in your daily life, to regularly attend the functions of this ministry, to make regular and identifiable contributions in support of the ministry through wisdom, work, and wealth, to attend the annual membership meeting of the center of the church and participate as a voting member. And that meeting is coming up in February, so you all just got in right under the wire to be able to be a voting member. More than that, like I said, it's a commitment to your personal spiritual journey. That's really what it's all about, your personal spiritual journey. It is a personal affirmation that this is the path for you right now. Membership is voluntary. It is not compulsory. Entering into membership is a personal covenant to your spiritual growth more than it is a covenant to an organization or a construct. It's a decision to live according to a spiritual principle. Today we bless new members in a ceremony, and each new member is going to receive a membership card, a name tag, and they're going to receive as well, you may have noticed these up here, a potted plant. I don't like to give the cut flowers, which many people do, because here's what I like to offer. That this plant represents you and your faith, your roots and your blossoms. And as you nurture this living thing, imagine that it is a metaphor for you nurturing your own soul by this commitment. So I'm going to invite William and Roberta to help me out here as we welcome new members of our community. As your name is read, what I'm going to do is invite you to see Roberta first. She will hand you your name tag and your membership card, and then make your way up to the stage where William will present you with your plant. Now you may say, but when I became a new member, I was down on the floor. It doesn't look good on camera because you can't see anybody, so we're bringing you up on stage so that you can be in the light. And as we do this, once everyone's been introduced, we're going to sing Face of God to everyone. So let's begin by inviting up Lorraine Atkins and Roger Atkins. And if you have trouble coming up on stage, you can remain down on the ground as well. Sherry Bolin and Tom Bolin. Dawn Brazil and Jessica Brunk, Linda Levere Hatch and Richard Lauren Hatch, Joyce Hawley, Sherry Nicholson, who I knew could not be here today. She sent me an email this morning, but we honor her nonetheless. Judy Roman and Mike Stammen, Pat Shepard, and Susan Smith. As everyone makes their way up, just take a moment to take in the beautiful faces that you see. Recognize the inherent nature at the core of each and every one of them. We'll bring you a plant in just a moment. And let's share together the face of God. If you don't know it, you'll know it pretty quickly. For the face of God sign language in the event that you don't know it. And you can join along and we'll sign it as well as sing it. It's very simple. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. So let's sign and sing. Here we go. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Now just sign. Sing again. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Repeat that last line. You are the face of God. One more time. You are the face of God. New members to our community here at Unity of Tucson. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for shining your light. You can head back down now. What a blessing you are. As they make their way to back to their seats. If you received our Friday email, you will have seen that we announced Alex Lionheart as our singer today, and unfortunately he was also not able to join us. So today really is like the journey of change today. Just everything is different. Nothing is really what I quite expected, and that's okay. I'm okay with change. So when Alex reached out to us yesterday saying, I'm not going to be able to be there, I wrote to Linda, and she said that she would be very delighted to regale us with song today. So with our special music, please welcome Linda Ackerman.
Thank you.
There were so many reasons to keep on keeping on. I'm gonna make the best of a bad situation. Each and every day I wake up and find that love is all around. Opportunity all around me, sure as the rising of the sun. Spirit calls me, calls all of us, it calls each and every one. This power within me gives me vision, and this I know. I go right on living, and I'm gonna let it show. Gonna keep on keeping on.
each and every day I'm going to make a best of any situation, really, any situation. What a blessing you are to this community. So many thoughts just going in my head now. So each week, the prayer chaplain who is scheduled to be in service on Sunday sends me what it is they intend to read, and I sometimes say, this is great. Sometimes I give them notes. Sometimes I say, pick something else. Actually, I don't think I have yet to say, pick something else. But part of it is to just also get them in the habit of like understanding how to create like a whole construct and a context, and you know, to create a whole message in what they're offering. And you know, Sue gratefully and graciously read what Deborah had sent in to me, because Deborah was supposed to be the prayer chaplain on duty. And blessings to you, Deborah, out there watching. You know, part of what we're engaged in also is protocols to ensure that our community stays healthy. She was feeling a little under the weather, and she just said, you know what, better to stay home, and I honor that. So thank you, Deborah, for honoring yourself, honoring this community. And I want to acknowledge the prayer chaplains in this community in this way, that I am constantly inspired by them. You know, the role of a minister, you know, it's such a strange thing to say out loud, but the role of a minister is, you know, we're supposed to be inspiring. But the only way that we can be inspiring is if we are inspired ourselves. And so we're constantly welcoming inspiration into our lives. And I'm grateful for all that our prayer chaplains bring to me in my life, in the way that the prayer chaplains serve this community. So I am constantly inspired by them. And I was inspired by what Deborah sent this week, the story of the woman touching the hem of Jesus and being healed. And it is a story that is in all three of the synoptic gospels. If you wonder what that is, we can talk about it in a class setting. Matthew, Mark, and Luke are the synoptic gospels, and that story appears in each and every one of them, told slightly differently in each one, but each and every one of them gets to the same point. That Jesus essentially says, it wasn't the activity that healed you, it was your faith that healed you. January, this month, we have taken on the theme of faith, one of the 12 powers, and we're exploring the 12 powers throughout the year. And faith is one of the, it's kind of elusive. You know, when I talked about it on the first week, you know, we talk about the Hebrews, the piece of Hebrews, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. It's an elusive thing. It's you know, faith is an idea, and you only know you have faith if you know you have faith. Think about it. But this idea that we are healed by our faith is rooted in and reflective of a basic, very basic tenet of our teaching. A very basic tenet of our teaching is this: perfect God. It's gendered. I'm just going to give you a warning. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect being. Man is inclusive of all in this context, so. Perfect God. Let's say perfect humanity. Perfect being. And you know, I like to turn that around and say it like this: perfect humanity being perfect God. Perfect God being perfect humanity. And the degree to which we begin to accept that as a point of faith in our lives, we open ourselves up, as the healing candle teaches us, we open ourselves up to the uncovering, the unfoldment of the divine essence at the core of all creation. And that is when we experience healing in the physical world. This entire philosophy is rooted in physical healing. Emma Curtis Hopkins very famously said she was known as the teacher of teachers because she taught all the great luminaries in the New Thought movement. She taught the Fillmores. She taught Melinda Kramer and Nona Brooks, and she taught Ernest Holmes. These are the people who started the three major movements in this philosophy: unity and religious science and divine science. And she very famously said, "If our minds can redden our skin with just a thought, our minds can set a bone." I'm paraphrasing. But it can set a broken bone, because that is the power of mind. She so firmly believed that and held that as a point of faith that she created what we would call, she experienced and offered what we would call miracles, in the same way we look at Jesus, who was someone who expressed and did what we call miracles. But you know what? The thing about miracles is this: when we begin to understand the core of them for what they are, they're ordinary. And we should begin to think of them as ordinary. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect being, perfect man being perfect God being perfect man. Humanity, sorry. This is the premise upon which all of our mental work is based. It is our acceptance of the construct that allows healing to be a reality in our experience. And this is what happened in that story with the woman. It had nothing to do with the man who was Jesus. It was her faith that healed her. Charles Fillmore wrote this: "Faith opens the door of the mind to an inflow of this universal life force. And when she, the woman, just in faith touched the hem of his garment, the negative condition of her system was stopped." How many of us are experiencing negative conditions? It's a rhetorical question. As I see people start raising their hand like, well, let me tell you, I'm feeling some negativity. The way to heal the negative conditions is not to try to coerce the world of form. It is to stand firm in faith. That's how we heal. That is how we heal. We all, each and every one of us, has this direct and individualized relationship to this thing called life, this life force energy, the universal life force, as he calls it. We are that very universal life force in form. And when we truly begin to deepen into this as a point of faith, then what actually is there to heal from? Because when we know this about ourselves, when we accept this about ourselves, and when we adopt this frame of mind, then everything in life flows forth from that frame of mind, and we find there is less and less in the world that we experience as negative. This thing called life is constantly expressing through us. And the challenge that we face is that we are the ones who muck it up. We are. If there's something negative in life, and this is going to be the hard thing now I have to clarify some language here. Because when I say what I'm about to say, what I am not saying is you are to blame. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we teach a fundamental premise that responsibility in our lives will heal. And that is not saying all the horrible things in my life I'm responsible for. No. It's saying irrespective of all that stuff, I know who I am in this moment. And when I know who I am, I can move forward from that point of view and be response able. That is how I heal my experience of life. That's what responsibility is to me. To know who I am to such a degree, to forgive everything, and to allow that inherent love only to flow forth, my entire experience of life shifts. I want to do a little experiment. Because we teach this universal life force. We teach God here, right? We teach God. We talk about God. God is a challenge for some people. less so for other people. But what I would like us all to do, online, in the room, however you're connected right in this moment, close your eyes, allow yourself to relax, and try to imagine God. Something likely came into your mind's eye. We speak of God in many ways: universal life force, energy, spirit, infinite omnipresence. We speak about God in many ways, but in just this moment, whatever came to mind for you, irrespective of the way you've heard it spoken about, when you imagine God, whatever comes to mind is right. It's right. What comes to mind to you is unique, and what a blessing that is. And everyone's unique idea of the essence of all that is also right. So we don't have to be in agreement about what God is or the way we imagine God, because it's all right. Because if we think that there is something separate, then we think that there is limitation. And if we learn nothing else, God is unlimited. God is infinite. And if God is infinite and we are part of all that is, we cannot be separate from it, that means that is the core of who we are as well. So let's move away from any condemnation or judgment of other people's ideas of God and know that it is right for them and God is right for you. God is not a thing with defined edges. It's all things, and it is also no thing at all at the same time. The challenge, as I say so frequently, is that we try to put into language that which is beyond language. And so how do we know God? The way I know God is beyond an idea that I can come with visually in my mind, but when I say imagine God, what I move to is the feeling tone that is inherent. It's not just an intellectual exercise. It is deepening into an embodiment and a feeling space. So yes, the caveat is that the moment we consider an idea that we can call upon and say, that's God, we've limited our experience of the unlimited. And that sense of limitation is how we defeat ourselves and how we begin to think of things in terms of separation. And when we think of things in terms of separation, we can be drawn into the abyss of dis-ease. When we limit our concept of God and believe ourselves limited aspects of that limited God concept, we have diminished ourselves unnecessarily. When we diminish ourselves, there is no room for healing. So it doesn't matter if you touch the hem of the garment, you will not be healed if it is not your faith to be healed through your faith. You know, one of the ways that we do this too, that we diminish ourselves, is we narrowly define what it is that healing should look like. We narrowly define what it is that healing should look like. Unity is a healing and a teaching philosophy. And you know, the thing about it being a healing and teaching philosophy is, in many ways, and this is true of the entire New Thought movement, none of these major traditions in the New Thought movement were meant to be religions. They weren't meant to be religion. They were, we really weren't meant to have churches. But there's a construct that was accepted, and so this is the way we operate now, in a way. Religion is an agreement. You ready? Religion is an agreement about what God is. But spirituality is having a one-on-one relationship with and as God. That's what I believe. And so your practice is your practice. We do teach practice here. But your practice is your practice. And so if we're going to invite anything, I invite the consideration that as we change our minds about the limited God that we may have grown up with and expand the construct, we experience more healing in our lives in every aspect of our being. You know, I think Unity and the New Thought movement exist for the sole purpose of creating a context for self-exploration, to know each and every one of ourselves as the perfect expression of humanity being perfect God. So while we have a teaching and a construct, we do not require adherence. We don't require adherence to any of the principles. Now, I brought the members up here today, the new members, and one of the things we say is that you are choosing to live the principles of unity and exemplify them in your life. But that is a choice. It is not a requirement. But you are basically saying, as members of this community, if you are a member of this community, this is how I am choosing to live at this time in my life, right here and right now. And what a blessing it is to the degree that you accept it as a blessing. But I'm not going to be after you as like the spiritual police, chasing you down. You are not living the principles of unity. Can you imagine that? You know what's scary? I can't imagine that. Have you ever been to a spiritual convention? There are ministers and there are people there are people who will call other people out and they'll be like, oh, I'm a minister and I see that other minister. They're not acting in accordance with the principles. They have stepped off principle for just a moment. I'm like, well, who are you to say? So let's please not police other people's journey. Let's not police other people's expression of spirit. Let us not police anyone. Let us be focused on ourselves and the way that we are choosing to live our lives with these principles in the way that we understand them too. And the great journey of understanding is that as we study, that's why it's a healing and a teaching philosophy, as we study, we deepen into the understanding of what these principles mean to us personally. What I have found is that many, many, many people explore and they find their relationship with truth in different ways, and it's all fine with me. However you get there is fine with me. But when they do that, when people do that, they have opened themselves up to a greater healing identity, a greater healing capacity. But you get to decide what that looks like for you. It is an acceptance, I believe. Remember, I always said, I will tell you what I believe and I will offer what unity teaches, but you get to decide what you believe. I believe, personally, that this acceptance ultimately is the expression of being a light in the world. We are a light in this world. We, each and every one of us, are luminous. Jesus didn't say, you know what, one day you might be the light of the world. It's going to take suffering and hard work, but you could get there someday. He didn't say that. He said, you are a light in this world. Shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. But many of us live our lives like that. Oh, if I suffer and I work hard enough, I might get there someday. Stop the work and be. That's a place of faith, to shine your light. And it's a scary place to be because you know what? Everyone's going to have an opinion. Everyone is going to have an opinion. You want to talk about opinions? Try being a minister. Everyone has an opinion. And I hear them all. I hear them all. You may think you may be saying opinions to somebody over there. I end up hearing them. And it's fine. You know why? Because I have adopted in my life a deep understanding, I know who I am. I know who I am. Do you know who you are? So let's stop worrying about other people and let's start focusing on shining the light ourselves. That's another path to healing in this world. To shine our light so brightly that other people's opinions don't matter anymore. So yeah, there is no more suffering. We don't need to live in suffering and hard work. Healing is the revealing, and it's easy to reveal our inherent nature. What it requires is for us to simply shed that which is in mind, unlike that nature. It's revealing the greatness at the core of our being. We can decide to see this world and everyone in it as either needy and incomplete or as loving and whole and complete. Which do you believe is a more healing way of seeing? We are greatness on demand. That's my acronym for God. Greatness on demand. Because God is not something out there. God is the life essence right here. That greatness on demand is a part of each and every one of us. It is who we are. It is our core identity. Perhaps consider today allowing that core identity to shine forth a little bit more brightly. We can't help actually being greatness on demand, but we sure do a good job of convincing ourselves otherwise. The constant commitment and practice of revealing this greatness on demand is how we live this healing presence. It's the way we think beyond the hem. There is no power in the hem. Their power is here, in our place of faith. It's the way we think beyond the hem. It is the manner in which we experience a healed universe. It is the basis upon which all self-healing is assured. That's the message. Peace and blessings to you. You are magnificent. So I ask you a question today to lead into our homework assignment, and that is, what would you like healed in your life? Now, there's going to be different answers for everybody, but this week, what I would like you to do is engage in the work diligently, with tenacity, to deepen into an understanding of what you would like to experience. Because we spend a lot of time thinking about what we don't want. I want you to look at what you do want this week, and I want you to let that be the focus of the week. What do you want? And why? Why do I say, why do you want it? Because that's going to invoke within you a feeling, and that's the thing to take a look at. What is the feeling that is invoked within you in asking, why is it I want what I want? If your mind moves to the focus of what you would like to eliminate, the work begins. Catch yourself in that moment and train yourself away from the thought of what you would like to eliminate. Don't beat yourself up, because that's defeating as well. Don't beat yourself up, but reflect in that moment. And you can even say to that thing, I see you. I see you. I talk to myself all the time like that, to all the negative thoughts. I go, I see you. I get it. I see you, I recognize you, but I choose in this moment to focus on something else. It's all a choice. That's the practice this week, to live in the choice of turning those negatives around and focusing on what it is you would like healed this week. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are. To deepen into whatever kernel of truth you may have heard today, let that be fully present in your mind here and now. It may be just one small idea, and that's perfect. For that is God expressing through you right in this moment. God is, I am, right here. right here, right now. God is, I am. Right in this moment, I actively deepen into the reflection of this understanding that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one universal wholeness. There is only one thing going on. The activity and the flow and the expression of an infinite creative source and force that is letting itself be known as all that is. It is greatness on demand. It is God. In knowing that this is all there is, I reflect on this understanding, that each and every one of us is part of this universal wholeness, and so there is no separation. We are this power, we are this presence, we are the light, we are the life, we are the love. That is God. There is no separation. There is only wholeness. So knowing that we are this greatness on demand, I utilize the infinite creative power in this moment by speaking these words of affirmation, to know that we are all love, we are all light, we are all life, we are all in the right place at the right time, having the right experiences, and it is irrespective of what any of it looks like. For right in this moment, we are the very power. That is a place of faith that I hold firm in my heart. I hold it firm for myself, and I recognize and hold it firm for every single person within the sound of my voice and beyond. For I see the face of God in everyone whom I encounter. This is a choice. And by living this choice, life is just getting better all the time. And so with gratitude overflowing from within, I welcome this good, I allow this good, and I let this good flow forth. Easily and effortlessly, I step out of the way and trust. And in this space and place of trust, I affirm it as such by saying, and so it is. Amen. God is, I am, right here, right now. Right here, right now, God is, I am. Thank you. Would you please welcome to the stage Roberta Latham, who is the secretary of our board of directors. Welcome, 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 Roberta. So good to see you, as always.
So good to be here today.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
I'm going to adjust this just slightly.
Just down a little bit.
Yeah, just like right there.
There, is that better? Yeah. Okay. Carl, should I turn it off? No. Okay, I'm here to talk about the opportunity to support Unity of Tucson. And I want to start by thanking William for a speech that he did a few weeks ago, asking for people to volunteer for stuff. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it's all fun work. It's not difficult. And he just really encouraged people to sign our little sheet and volunteer for some activity that they'd like to be involved in. Many of you did. If you haven't heard back from somebody who's coordinating that service, you will. Don't worry. And we really, really appreciate it. Your gift of time is most appreciated. Your gift of financial wealth is also much appreciated. And the baskets will be coming around. Is somebody passing the baskets today? Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. The baskets will be coming around in a few minutes, and you can put an offering in there if you'd like. If you're an automatic giver, there are little cards in the back of the seats, colorful cards. You can pick up one of those cards and put in the basket to indicate that you are an automatic giver. And if you're not an automatic giver, I want to encourage you to look at one of those and figure out, if you'd like to do that. It's so much easier. It's a little like I tell my clients when I'm talking about investments. If you put it on automatic, it's going to work. If you have to think about it every month, it's hard. So I'd encourage everyone to think of that. You can do that online or in the bookstore or by phone. There are several different ways to give, which are going to be posted, and you can go to unitytucson.com and see all of the different ways that you can accomplish this. And let's speak out loud together the conscious giving statement. If you would, please. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence of the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me. And so it is. As the baskets are being passed, please feel free to sing along with our giving song.
I like this one because I move a little bit too. I feel like moving. You can stand up. Here we go. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. One more time. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. And I am indeed so grateful. Sometimes I get asked, why do you mix up your left and right when you do that? Because as person on stage, I am mirroring for you what your left and your right would be. It was something I was taught in, my years of being a performer. A couple of things that are happening here at Unity of Tucson. Go. Oh, did it go? It is going, yes. Well, now everything's messed up. Let me try this again. Give me just a minute. Do that. It should pop back up. So yes, we have spiritual education opportunities that are happening. We started class on Wednesday night, but there's another one that is happening right now, and that is Ed Savard's lecture series, which is happening after the celebration. God and Mankind, Religious Thought and Why God Won't Go Away. If you are signed up for that, it meets in room A after the service. Also happening every Thursday. See, I'm looking up there, but now it's all back here. Happening every Thursday, Skills for Higher Awareness, a workshop facilitated by Christina Gilman. That continues Thursdays at 10 a.m., also over in room A. There's Christina, thank you so much. And there's Ed also. Thank you, Ed, for providing your magnificence. We are having an events committee meeting today. If events are something that you feel passionate about, we would love to have you lend your events expertise in support of this community. We're meeting today, 11:30 a.m. We're going to meet over in the annex in room 3. Also, I've had so many people ask me about this. There it is. If you would like to sing with the Unity Choir, which we are going to relaunch on Easter Sunday, means we have to start rehearsals. We're going to have signups starting next Sunday. Alex, who will be leading the choir, will be here to answer any questions you may have about that, but we are looking for people who want to sing with the choir. Rehearsals are going to be on Sundays after our regular church service. You will get you'll get to know what the schedule is as we move forward with that. So, I'm so excited. So excited. Save the date. Our annual general meeting is going to be on February 20th, Sunday, February 20th, right after the service. Also, Tai Chi with Monk, as always, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Gentle Yoga with Lynn, Mondays at 9:30 a.m. Please welcome, where is she? There she is. Please welcome to the stage our Youth and Family Ministries Manager, Chris Paxton with the kids. Did you have fun today? You had fun today, didn't you? So can you tell me about what you did today?
So we made balloons and had fun with them, blowing them up and decorating them.
You decorated your balloons, okay.
And then we also blew them up, then let them go, and then they went all over the place.
Balloons went all over the place. Yes, they did. That's wonderful. Well, that's a beautiful balloon. Thank you for sharing that today. You want to tell us about the story? No. Do you want to tell us about the story?
We just learned how to create something out of nothing. Oh, I bet Vera will tell.
Okay, so what was the story?
We came to church and we did a lot of fun stuff.
I heard a rumor from the person behind you that you were making something out of nothing. Is that right?
Yeah, we were making something out of nothing, and we had a book about making, and we read a book about a boy having a blanket at first.
Okay. We'll have to read that book.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
It's a thriller.
It's a thriller. Well, thank you so much for sharing. If you are interested in working with the youth, we would love to have your support. You can sign up in the foyer, or you can email yfm@unitytucson.com. Hi. We're going to dance in just a minute, but I've got some other stuff to take care of real quick, okay? Okay. So I want to let you know also our prayer chaplains in service are Sue, but I didn't see Lydia come in. Is Lydia here? All right, so it's Sue today. So Sue is our prayer chaplain in service. Thank you so much. If you have need of prayer or a moment of prayer after the service, you can meet her right here in the sanctuary. She is delighted to be able to help you out. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today possible, our entire tech crew, Wally, Don, and Greg, for your magnificent support and service. I want to say thank you to Sue for your double duty, lighting the candles, and Mary for stepping up and talking about the homework. Thank you so much. Thank you to Roberta in your service as our board member on duty today. Thank you, Chris. Thank you to Linda Ackerman. Yes, 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 and this magnificent band, always grateful. I want to say welcome once again to all of our new members, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making your presence known here, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but in this thing called life. You are magnificent, and you are a blessing to me every day and in every way. Let us share together this offering for our closing prayer. I am light, I am love, I am brave, I am never alone, for I am of God. God is of me, and all is well. And so it is. Amen. And as we close today, feel free to stand and dance. If you think there's nothing new under the sun, if it's possible, it's already been done. If you think the stage has all been set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with the wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. If you think you finally made your bed, and there ain't nothing down that road ahead. If you think this is as good as it gets, wanna bet? You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with the wave of your head. everyone.